You keep telling yourself it's not that bad. Just a habit, just stress, just a phase. But deep down, you know the truth. You're not in control. And that scares the hell out of you. Every time you say tomorrow, there's that quiet sting in your chest, that tiny crack in your identity. Because tomorrow never comes. It resets again and again and again. You're not battling a screen or a substance or a dumb behavior. You're battling comfort. And comfort whispers real soft, relax, wait, just one more, it won't matter. But it does, every single time. Every small choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. Right now, most of your votes are for weakness, not because you're weak, but because you're undisciplined. Big difference. Weakness is permanent. Undisciplined, that's a choice. You weren't born addicted. You trained yourself into it. Tiny reps, tiny allowances, tiny compromises. That's the trap. And that's the exit too. You're hoping for a dramatic wake-up, a rock-bottom moment, something that shocks you into change. But real change doesn't scream. It whispers. Starts so small your ego almost ignores it. One less hit, one less hour wasted, one slightly better choice. Feels boring? Good. Because ego loves intensity anyway. Your bad habits aren't strong because they're powerful. They're strong because you repeat them. Every night, just this once. Every morning, I'll fix it later. Every week, next week I'll get serious. Each repetition carves the same neural path deeper. You built this prison, brick by brick, quietly, patiently, consistently. So why are you surprised it feels solid? The method isn't extreme. It's not loud, not dramatic. It's steady. You don't break addiction with one heroic explosion. You shrink it daily, reduce its territory, reduce its power, reduce its frequency. 1%. Sounds boring? Good, because boring wins. Real discipline is waking up and choosing slightly better. Feeling the urge, then waiting 10 minutes. Replacing instead of removing. Tracking instead of guessing. You don't delete a habit, you replace it. You don't kill a craving, you outgrow it. That's how identity shifts. Stop seeing yourself as someone trying to quit. That's the problem. You're negotiating with your shadow. There's a version of you that doesn't need it, wakes up clear, looks at temptation and feels nothing. Not superhuman, just aligned. That identity is built, not wished for. Every small disciplined act sends a signal. This is who we are now. At first, it feels fake, forced, mechanical. Do it anyway. Shrink the behavior, shrink the trigger, shrink the environment feeding it. Stop giving your brain easy access. Stop pretending you're strong enough to resist forever. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to redesign. Most addictions aren't about pleasure. They're about escape. From boredom, anxiety, meaninglessness. When life has no pull, pleasure becomes your mission. And pleasure, terrible boss. Direction beats willpower every time. When your life has meaning, habits align or vanish. Meaning comes through action, contribution, small improvements compounding into confidence. Competence builds pride. Pride builds identity. Identity kills addiction. You're at war, invisible war. No one sees relapses. No one hears broken promises whispered in silence. But you do. That shame is heavy. You ask why you can't just stop. Because you're trying to win a war with one explosion. You need strategy. Reduce frequency, then intensity, then emotional attachment. Pain is part of it. You'll feel restless, irritated, empty. Good. That emptiness, space being created. Sit in it. Let the urge rise, peak, and fall. It always falls. You just never waited. This is where most quit. Not impossible, just quiet. No applause, no drama, just daily resistance. That's where identity is built. Old you reacts, new you designs. One feels easy today and miserable tomorrow. The other? Uncomfortable now, unstoppable later. You cannot be both. You're not a victim, you're the architect of repetition. Built it? You can dismantle it. Brick by brick, urge by urge, day by day. Discipline isn't feeling strong, it's acting aligned when you feel weak. You don't wait for motivation, you create evidence. Delay gratification, sit with discomfort, stack that evidence. Eventually, you stop saying, "I'm trying to quit." You start saying, "I don't do that anymore." That sentence changes everything. Small improvements everywhere, 1% better in every direction, compounds into transformation. Not loud, not flashy, unshakable. You are capable of more than this cycle, more than craving, more than shame, more than empty promises. You were built for growth. You won't feel ready. You won't feel fearless. Start anyway. Shrink the habit today. Delay one urge. Replace one routine. Write down one reason you refuse to stay the same. Repeat tomorrow and the next day. 1 year from now, you'll either be trapped in the same pattern or barely recognize this version of you. That choice is daily. Decide who you are, what you stand for, that your future is worth discomfort. If you're serious about discipline, clarity, and purpose-driven strength, subscribe. Not for hype, for reminders of who you're becoming. This isn't quitting, it's becoming someone. That work starts now.